Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where a handful of mad actors will attempt to survive the fire-strewn depths of Dungeons and Dragons. I am your host and Dungeon Master Jason Phelps, and I am joined, as ever, by Robbie Copperhead Bellekom, Sam Copperbottom Burns, and Ellie Corzin Horhace Sparrow.
I can't. Does anyone actually remember how to play cops and robbers, as in the playground game?
Yeah, one side of you are cops, the other side are robbers. You point at each other, declare bang bang, and say you're dead. And because none of the kids have learned how to be giving improvisers yet, they go, nah, you missed.
That's a good description.
That's exactly how it works.
And then eventually they realise there's only one way to resolve this. We need a neutral, somewhat randomised third party. And then dice get involved. And that's how we end up here.
I feel weirder about cops and robbers as an adult than I did as a child. Just like some slightly alarming things going on there, isn't there, under the surface?
Yeah, that's the case for a lot of kids' games.
This is true.
Yep.
Except for Postman, in which you have to deliver the letters really quickly. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was like a riff on Granny's Footsteps. You had to you had to deliver the letters.
I bloody love that game.
And they weren't real letters or anything. It was like you had to touch them and then you'd have delivered the letters. But you also had to say like a postman phrase. I can't remember it. There was a phrase you had to say that was to do with post. Anyway. Yeah. But that, I feel, has actually no negative connotations. That's just...
I'd say TIG is pretty straightforward, or TAG if you're American.
Yeah. Stuck in the mud is
just
fine.
From the South.
Yeah. Can I let you all in on a secret? I still have no idea how to play hopscotch.
We're playing hopscotch at some point when you come over.
We're doing it right now, Samothy. What do you think this is?
Oh, well, don't I feel like a twit?
Oh my god. Does this mean I could tell you hopscotch is anything?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much.
As long as there are, like, vague squares on the floor, we could pretend it's
squares, numbers, and I know a stone is involved somehow.
I think so, yeah.
I think there are variant rules in hopscotch as well.
We have chalk and stones. Stuff. Let's play hopscotch. When you come over. I think it's about...
Sorry, we have chalk and stones is a great...
We do have chalk and stones. We have chalk because there's chalk in the hallway, because it's for my art board. That's why I'm thinking we have
You
chalk.
do definitely have both of those things.
Yeah. Hopscotch, as far as I remember, is less than 5 minutes of fun, but we should do it.
Yes. Speaking of less than 5 minutes of fun...
Less than 5 minutes of fun? No.
Oh no, we'll be here for a long time if less than 5 minutes of it is fun.
Speaking of
what are you doing
less
here
than 5 minutes of fun produced by impermanently marking something that will not last, it's time for us to go to the pre-recorded segment that was recorded quite some time in the past that I nevertheless insist on calling Messages from the Future. Present. Future us. Messages from the present.
Looking up the timeline.
It's Future Jason with Messages from the Present. This episode of Flintlocks and Fireballs is brought to you by you. As ever, a massive thanks to our crew members on the Flintlocks Patreon who help keep this ship sailing. There's a wealth of extra content and bonus features for patrons, including regular blog posts, extra stories narrated by the cast, artwork, and a monthly poll for the community to help design an element to go into the game. You can check it out at patreon.com/Flintlocks and Fireballs, link in the description. And that's it for announcements this time. Back to you, Past Jason. I just flung my pencil just like in a fit of pique while talking about messages from the future.
That explains the noise you just made to people who
didn't
see.
It sounded like force choking you.
Congratulations, you discovered another of the rules of hopscotch.
You have to make that exact sound every 3 goes, otherwise you get thrown out.
Okay.
Out of where? I
Of
don't
a
know,
plane.
man. The playground,
A plane.
maybe? The whole school?
I can see why I was no good at this as a kid.
You didn't have a deep enough voice to make that exact noise that Jason just made.
I don't think the depth of the depth so much as the constriction of your throat is the more pressing factor. And moving on from
Whatever that was.
Right?
From where that was going, it's time for us to begin Flintlocks and Fireballs. Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains brother, no one's free. A life on land is short, you'll see.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
Previously, on Flintlocks and Fireballs, the party have at long last recovered all 5 of the totems that were used by Victory to cast the spell that cut Wayne Manor out of Calcinea and sent it to the void. Along the way, they met a variety of interesting characters, visited some hidden worlds, learned a little bit more about the lost legacy of Giant Kind, and also found a ship of black glass floating on a sea of flames, in which they faced the now arguably 4th or 6th, depending on how you count it, fragment of what it turned out was none other than Scamp's father, the Goat Lord Corzin. I don't know what the near is about. Like I feel
I
like
don't call that. This is not my father.
I feel like the characters have been fairly explicit from at least one standpoint about this.
Yep.
Like, you know, whether you accept them as
I would like to boo.
whether you accept them as a parental figure or not is a matter. But they certainly had a hand in your creation. Regardless, after a not so much tense as deeply violent confrontation with the fragment calling itself Corzin, but which friend identified as Era, the party were able to successfully defeat it and save Victory from being permanently merged with it and the other fragments. Not without loss, without some injury, however. Victory has unfortunately received a permanent injury in the loss of her eye, and but has managed, for now it seems, to attain mastery over the spirit of Era and access to much of his knowledge and power. We rejoin the party in the stateroom, for want of a better word, of the Corzin, where Corzin has just finished dressing Victory's injury. You have an opportunity, perhaps, to rest and recuperate, but also to ask any burning questions you might have.
So they named the boat after themselves?
I mean, yeah. I'm keeping
Bit arrogant.
I mean, yeah.
Slightly.
I mean, you could have named your boat the Horhace.
Yes, but he didn't.
Yeah, but
did
that'd
he?
be weird, wouldn't it? It'd
Could
be
have
like,
done, but also...
you'd be talking
Why?
about the Horhace, and you think you're talking about the person or the other people with that. No, it's confusing.
Well, I'm keeping the name because it's the family name, and I don't know. I kind of like that.
Oh, you're allowed to.
All
It's
right.
fine. You don't have to it's up to you. It's just a name.
Yeah. Phew.
You alright? I don't know why I'm asking that. You've lost
No!
a fucking eye.
I've lost my fucking eye. I'm really just trying not to think about that, but it's pretty hard because I can't, see anything off to one side.
Is there anything any of us can do for you, sort of pain healing wise?
Can
any
you
of those
give me a
things?
new eye?
No, I was more suggesting.
I figured it was worth. Honestly,
I was suggesting maybe softening the physical sensation somewhat, but that's
have you got any laudanum?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
Corzin might. Do you?
Would I, as part of my healing?
Oh, you do.
Scamp, have you got the bowl?
Yeah.
Yes.
We can, I've got so much of whatever you need, really. But just to check first, you don't feel like evil or world conquering suddenly, do you?
I mean,
more than normal.
Well, that's a really fucking difficult question. I wouldn't say that I feel like taking over the world. I am in quite a lot of pain, and I'm still getting used to suppressing the fractured persona of my fractured arsehole, as it turns out, the arsehole splinter persona of my maybe query dead dad, who's also the god that fathered our part of our entire race. So I would say I'm not as calm as I was this morning.
Oh no, calm. You don't be calm. I'm more talking like
laudanum. You said you had laudanum?
Yeah,
I might
I've
step
got the bowl.
out
Let's
for a
get
bit
the bowl
while
out.
you
You do that. Don't
if you
go
could just
far.
put it somewhere where I don't know where it is, I'll just be outside the door. Just let me know when that bit's done.
We're only going to make as much as is needed. There won't be more than that. It'll be gone by the time you come
Cool.
back.
I'll just, if there is more, just don't tell me it's there. Back in a sec.
I'll set fire to it. It's fine. It's gone. Can you set fire to it? Probably not. I'll try.
Yes. Yeah, it's
Celestia literally just steps out the room for a minute.
You know what? I'll drop it in lava. There's plenty of lava.
Okay, yeah, just
Be
careful with it.
Could you just put it into... I mean, I've seen it... hold on. When you say bowl, do you mean the one that you make chocolate with and drink every morning?
Yeah.
It does drugs?
It does chocolate. What? That's surely more important overall.
Yeah, but I thought it just did chocolate.
No.
Scamp, never change.
Why would you make drugs when you can make chocolate?
Right, you didn't grow up next to the place where they grow cocoa. Never mind.
Yeah. I didn't get chocolate, and I saw the effect of drugs. So you know what? Chocolate's better.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you can make a killing with that back at home in Porto Obsidio.
Yeah, and then you'd get killed because people would figure it out.
Yeah. I mean,
Or
not
you
there.
just get
not there,
by-
but you'd get killed, just not immediately in that place. Otherwise, that gets a whole ass messy.
You'd get killed by other drug dealers you were undercutting.
I mean,
Yeah, but
so
not in Port Civics because we do that.
Yeah, not there specifically.
Tags.
So does it... Holy shit, it's actually going to fill up the whole bowl.
Well, yeah, but the rest of it's going in the lava.
Could you... How many times a day can you do that? Because, we've got a medic. You've got to give me, a spoonful of that every 4 hours.
Yeah, that's true. We can't use it all
Do you
immediately.
want to just put
administer
that in a
that,
bottle?
don't worry.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
give
we'll
it
put
to
some in a
Corzin.
bottle.
Yeah, and that will be in the healer's kit, which will be with me for the whole time.
Okay. But maybe we should. Oh, I don't know.
Just make the bloody laudanum!
Oh, it's doing it. It's doing the thing. It's doing its thing. I'm just trying to
fuck
work
it,
out
is
what
it?
to do with it afterwards.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
it's
Oh, it's not coming from anywhere. It's just it's
We
like the
try not
ball
to
is just
think about where
sweating
Doing
and
the
then
reverse
filling
of
up.
draining.
Oh, that is... I mean, I realise we just, fought a whole battle with, weird lights and a nightmarish machine, and I was possessed and trying to kill you all and everything, but that is... Fuck, that's impressive.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I could. Should I put a magic mouth on that bottle so that if if Celestia goes near it, we'll get told. Not that we don't trust Celestia, but just as a reminder for her.
Well, if it makes you feel better, sure. I'm like I said, I'm not going to mention it.
Does she have a bit of a past history with this stuff?
She's not a fan.
It's just best that temptation is not placed in a easy.
No.
Right.
Get it. Quite understand. If you could just measure. Thank you.
All right.
There you go.
Okay, I can let that set in.
Guess right now. Do we have any way of measuring time here?
I think we've still got the little little candle clocks that's still burning.
Right. I will consult that and try and make a reasonable estimate as to what 4 hours hence is going to look like.
It's currently about 5 p.m. Thereabouts. On the 27th. on the 27th of Falling Leaves.
Cool. Okay.
According to your best reckoning.
Okay.
You bottle up the remaining.
It's literally just so that we don't
overdose.
Like under
or overdose the operation, basically.
Like overdose victory on opiates, yeah.
Yeah.
Opium.
But no, you carefully.
And Corzin, as a surgeon, would be very, very wise to this.
You carefully measure out an appropriate dose for a Victory's age and body mass. She takes some. You bottle up the rest and hide it away. At which point, but at the end of which, Celestia is able to return.
Yeah, if someone shouts her, she'll come back in.
Right, we're all done now.
Right, so not thinking about it. Don't talk about it, please. Thank you.
That's fine.
Oh, fuck off when it's dosing time. Yep.
That's fine. We'll manage. We'll sort it. We'll look out for you. Don't you worry.
Thank you.
Right.
Sorry to be so
I
weird.
suppose...
No, what? No.
Let's not dwell.
Yeah.
Feel better?
No, but I know that in about 15 to 20 minutes I will.
Yeah, it's bastard like that. I'm sorry. A distraction?
So, what's our next plan?
Right,
Because
so
I think-
we have some.
Are we safe?
No.
Forgive and
definitely
value
not.
safe.
I mean, you're in charge now, right?
Yeah. I've been
Yeah,
meaning.
how
We're
safe do you
safer.
reckon we are?
One moment. She calls out in Infernal. Dixery! One of the... you actually recognise one of the demons. One of the goat demons who actually was part of the group that you met in the caverns approaches. You are... who is my first mate? Texeray glances around, responds in Infernal, so again, Scamp understands this. That was Dormo. He was under one of the falling bits of machinery.
Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
Right. Okay. Congratulations, you are now my first mate. Is the crew going to give me any shit? No. We are bound to serve the master of this ship. That was the arrangement we made when Corzin gave us these bodies. Great. Get the ship in order best you can. We are going to rest. Let me know if anyone disturbs us. Victory looks back. Okay, yeah, so turns out they are literally bound to serve the master of the ship.
That's healthy.
Alright, so...
There's no way we can just let them go home or fix that. No, the people are gone, aren't they?
One moment. She grips the side of her head with one hand and the necklace pouch with the tiny skull in with the other. Celestia and Corzin, you see a flare of reddish energy around her hand, the hand gripping the skull. No, you... There we go. Sorry, I have to fight him for the memories. Yeah. The short version is, as far as I can work out, they kind of died the moment that Era put the spirits inside of them. There's not much that's if you took the spirits out, there wouldn't be anything left of them in there.
Just an empty vessel.
Yeah, like it'd be alive, but there wouldn't be anyone at the rudder. If you catch my meaning.
Right. Yeah. I was
Scary.
a little worried of that. But...
yeah, that's not good news, but I suppose we're here now.
Is your... I hope you don't mind... I'm not trying to be insulting. I just think somebody should probably check. Is your mind yours at the moment?
I mean, yes. Obviously, I would also... I guess I'd say that if I was under mind control, but yes. Fuck. Yeah,
Right.
it's my mind. No.
I can sort of check minds if you ever want it looked at any point.
You know what? That would be great.
Now? Okay, I think I have the... Let me consult my notes from the last D&D session. That's not what I say in character. I do actually have a spell for that, so I can do that. If there's anything you really don't want me to look at, just, imagine a door and shut it. I won't do any violating. Apparently it feels a bit uncomfortable, but I imagine it won't touch the sides at the moment, darling, to be honest.
Not really. It's like, it's getting a bit less, but it still fucking hurts.
You ready?
Yeah.
It's like someone tickling your nose, but
Oh.
inside the head.
And the surface thought you
Yeah.
get is, that does feel weird.
Oh, fuck me, your eye hurts. Woof!
Yeah. Yeah, and it's blended with just the
I feel like I would
of,
go in and get, fucking
my eye
pain.
hurts. How deep do you want to go? Or are you just listening to surface thoughts?
Surface thoughts first. Anything weird stand out?
Victory is thinking,
Ow!
okay, I'm poor. Yep, just thinking about things. Don't like.
Everyone does this.
Yeah.
You're gonna think something weird eventually. It's okay. I'm not judging. Do you mind?
Briefly get an intrusive thought of, like, I mean, he's an older guy, but Corzin's kind of hot. No.
Celestia doesn't say anything.
And you hear...
If you two see a momentary it just stops.
There's like a flicker in Celestia's eyes, and
I send
Celestia
her a
and Victory
message
both
and say,
make eye
I'm never
contact.
saying anything, don't worry. I just
As
continue.
you're saying it, you hear her start to think, don't! It's like, that
It's
came
dead
out of
to
nowhere.
me! That's amazing. Once Celestia's recovered a bit, they ask, would you mind if I had a little, rummage?
Door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go. Sure,
Yep.
why not?
I'm checking around for any thoughts that aren't hers, basically, is what I'm doing, and I'm having a probe.
She does let you in, so you plunge downwards into the general sense of Victory's mental essence. The general feeling is that, yes, this feels like the Victory you know. The undercurrent of the thoughts is obviously very focused right now on the pain, but also there's a sense of struggle, but of a struggle that has been established. You can feel, and your mind almost visualizes, a cord or a channel stretching down from Victory's mind to another distant mind that you aren't in on. You can feel that the channel is there, like a cord connecting them. But there's almost like a feeling that the cord flows downhill.
So there's a pull to it.
Yeah. Vic, you sense that the mind you're in now has almost a degree of dominion over the other mind. And like the connection itself is shaped in a way that it cannot be equal. Something about it means that someone has to be subordinate. And right now, you don't know whether it will last forever or whether it's a temporary state. Victory is very clearly in control. But you get the sense that if she wants to get anything from the other mind, she kind of has to fight through that connection to pull things up.
Okay, you definitely have control. I can feel it. This has to tip one of two ways, and right now it's your way. Watch yourself when you're tired. I mean, I could be wrong there, but it feels like you're going to have to make an effort to pull stuff out.
Yeah.
And if you pull too many things out, you might leave an opening.
Yeah, he fights me when I try and get things, but
I think you're alright. I think right now he's tired and you're alright.
Yeah.
I think you could probably pull a fair amount out right now and you'd be okay, because you've just won. It's like somebody's just been beaten up.
You feel her doing so, and within this strange mindscape, it's a sensation of her almost reaching down as scrabbling hands trying to fend her off through the connection.
I'm getting the feeling that they'd probably be quite weak right now because he's just been beaten, right?
They are. Yeah. It's more like there's a definite sense that it's like hands flailing, scratching, but she's able to reach down and pull back a memory. And you just feel for a moment you get a flash of a huge, noble feeling figure from the inside. Like, it's a first-person perspective memory, obviously, of someone tall, athletic. You can because memories are multisensory, you have the sensation of proud features and impressive curled horns, rich clothes, and a silvery compass held in one hand, pointing in a direction across a sea of fire. Stood on the prow of the ship. The memory, you feel, is then absorbed into the mindscape around you. And I'm going to say at this point, that's probably been about a minute.
Yeah.
So you feel the spell break and you pull out.
Whoa, that was weird.
Oh.
I think you're all right, though.
Yeah.
Like, at the moment, I'm not worried. But I think long term, be careful.
Yeah.
He's fucked right now, though. It's like you've just beat him up. He's okay right now.
I feel like it's not exactly like it's a poisoned well. It's more like it's a really fucking dangerous well that's just too full of useful stuff to get rid of.
You know what it's like? It's kind of like, the way I saw it anyway, it's kind of like every time you pull up the bucket from the well, you get a load of useful shit, but you also get some, like, big fucking weights.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to pull up, and your arms might fucking snap, you know?
Yeah, I think I can get specific answers if I know what I'm looking for.
Right. Well, just, if you're ever worried and you want someone to have a check how it's going, we've established that I can see, so just,
thank you.
Let me know.
Yeah, I can tell he's one thing that I just get the feeling that he's never going to willingly cooperate, but he also has a lot in him. Did you get any sense of what I managed to?
Yeah, some big, tall, proud.
That was
being.
Him. That was Dad. That was Kotzal when he was him. From before,
rather than just a bit of him.
Yeah,
which is
before
what that is?
before the split, before they split, before he and Mum split him into pieces.
I kind of look to Scamp. we might be able to get the whole story. Like all the shit that Vasilisa hasn't told anyone. Are you like ready for that? Do you want that?
I mean, we don't really have a choice, do we?
Not really. I think we need to know, don't we?
Yeah. But I don't like that I don't have a choice, but if I said no, it wouldn't make a difference. Would it, really, at this point?
Probably not.
I mean...
I think it's a safety measure at this point.
Yeah, it's up to you. Just ask...
It's not. It's also you.
Yeah, but I want to know.
Exactly.
So
that's
you know,
the thing. Me saying no at this point doesn't really mean much.
I mean, I don't know. I could always find out the answers and then not tell you, but I feel like that's... Oh, fuck. Oh. There's another of those compasses, by the way.
Really?
She gestures over to the big panel desk, the sort of more the more actually 18th century desk, as opposed to some of the weird ancient looking black glass stuff all around. As mentioned before, the stateroom has a combination of ancient looking chests and containers and desks, but also a much more recent, more modern, about 30 years ago looking writing desk, four-poster bed, things like that. So there's a little sort of there's a strange mix of decor in here. Wooden desk, second drawer down, there's a hidden compartment.
Right.
Sorry, I've got a splitting headache.
I'll pop over there.
Yeah. You pull open the drawer and search around, but you've been told that there is one, so after a minute or so of searching, you find the small catch.
Yeah, pick it up in a cloth when I've got it, so that I'm not touching it.
And you do find there is, wrapped in cloth, another of these seeker compasses. This one pointing in a direction.
We put all of our other ones away.
I assume you have.
Yeah, I guess so.
You found the fifth totem now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's keyed to the Cirrus Citadel, or to the gate, the entryway.
Oh,
Right.
good.
That's
That's
what they...
useful.
Yeah, they managed to find... No, come on, more! She scrunches her eye up for a moment. One. They found one. There were more. They only found one.
What, one gate?
One compass. They're supposedly they heard that there were more of them that had been left there for sorcerers to find their way home.
Okay.
Right.
If you move it, does it actively point in a direction?
It does. You take your finger, flip the compass needle, and then it rotates back.
That's weird. 'Cause I always thought the Cirrus Citadel would be, well, not here, if you see what I mean.
Oh, so there'll be a way to it, I guess.
Yeah.
This is what this place is. It's just
There are
ways
doors,
to
aren't there?
things.
I
This,
suppose, yeah.
yeah, that's why they came here. This whole place, this place, these tunnels, they're... Come on, tell me! Oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know for sure, but whether they were created on purpose or by accident, but they're a bit like that broken bazaar we visited. They connect a lot of other hidden worlds. There's places where it touches back into Calcinea. If you knew your way round here, you could travel all around the world.
Oh, a bit like how the gnomes use the Dreamfold.
Yeah, except it's full of... I mean, basically, demons or old gods. It feels like this was this was a place that a lot of the old gods took refuge in after the Regency started to really become a big thing.
Right.
Sensible place to hide, I suppose.
It's somewhere that, because you can't be. No, come on, there. You can't be scryed here. The scrying something he doesn't know what doesn't reach this place. Same as the same way. Yeah, same way you couldn't really scry properly while we were in the other bits.
I don't think the Kraken can see here either.
Really?
But I mean, with the pool, right? I've this like working theory. Don't get me wrong; it's not like real or anything. I have this working theory that the pool is all the stuff that the Kraken could potentially see, because the Kraken's always right at the bottom of it, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
No Kraken when I went to this pool. I mean, no sea. Just sort of weird little puddle of water that I stuck my face in. You know, if you're not in the sea, you probably can't see you, can you?
I wish I could have seen that. I would have loved to watch you like stick your face in a puddle.
Oh, it was really tragic, honestly. It was really embarrassing. I'm quite glad no one saw it. I was sort of freaking out.
It was probably kind of anticlimactic.
I mean, we could always hold her over a bath if you want.
I just want to be the same.
Been a bad enough fucking day.
What, you don't like baths?
I don't love being like face first dunked into them. That's not my favourite, if I'm honest. Little shit. So we should go to the Citadel.
Yeah, is it?
That's my opinion.
I mean, I know it is meant for sorcerers to go through and stuff, but is it safe to go through? Is there a cost to it?
He doesn't know. He knows that he knows that the door won't open for anyone who's not a sorcerer.
Okay, but other people can follow through?
But a sorcerer could open it.
Yeah, that's... come on. Yes, I can... There's legends about stories. They found them out about sorcerers bringing people in, entourages.
Okay.
It's got to be kind of like the sort of things you can already do, Scamp, right? You can take other people with you.
Yeah, but it's not so much opening a door as kicking a hole in reality.
Oh, it's also a good check for people who have spirits.
Yeah.
Well, there was that whole anti-spirit thing that you were finding.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is a good question, I think.
The, what is it? There's a secret there. There's some sort of secret, according to the legends, of how it... the stories talk about the handful of sorcerers... there's a handful of sorcerers that made it there, and they came out more powerful or more learned. There's some sort of secret there. That's what they were. That's what Mum and Kotzel were after.
A giant library?
Maybe.
Because we burnt that one down.
But, like, maybe. Or something.
Whoops.
There's... Apparently both of the... Well, one of them wasn't a sorcerer, but her husbands were. But both of the big ones supposedly made it there. Petra Leone supposedly got there somehow from Jova, which I guess was... She gestures, like, around through this place, presumably.
Well, if there are as many entrances and exits as there seem to be.
Yeah. And...
Yeah.
I don't know how, but the Great Khan, Borte, she wasn't a sorcerer, but she found 3 sorcerers and married them. And her husband supposedly took her here to the Citadel. It's not called the Citadel in that legend, but like the way they match up, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they were the ones who made a land bridge of ice between Haldanos and Jova and, conquered half of it.
Wow.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
We have so many things we need to know that I don't know where to start, because obviously we need to go to the Ceres Citadel, and I think this is the time, but also we really need to know the fuck Vasilisa hasn't told us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, is it safe to ask? Are you going to get hurt? Are you able to, or is this a bad, risky time?
I mean, emotionally speaking, maybe I could get hurt. Physically, I'm already pretty hurt.
From the outside, genuinely, obviously, feel free to feel different. It sort of looked like he's quite weak right now.
Yeah, but...
Oh, yeah, he's...
How are you doing, though? Because if both of you are a bit weak, that doesn't mean much.
Yeah, do you need to sleep first? Because, this will keep.
Right now, I'm on top. Maybe he'll stay weak. Maybe rest will help him as much as it does me. I don't know. But right now, I feel like I can find all of this relatively easily.
I think you've got this. I give her inspiration. Just in case there's a roll.
The flash of rainbow from you. There is something else, actually. While I'm thinking about it, this isn't from stored knowledge. This is more one of those sorcerer sense things. She walks over to the pyramid, the totem, runs her hands over the dragon bone. I'm getting a sense that when we take this back, I can use it to fix the mansion. It'll re-anchor it back to where we, back to Calcinea, but we'll be able to move the entrance around when we want it. I also get a sense that I can, but I don't have to, fix the tears, the pathways, the rips that
Interesting.
get through. But this is my only choice. But when I do the stitch job, when I put it back together, that's when we have to make the choice. I couldn't fix it again without breaking it again.
Okay.
Either we seal off access to all the worlds we've found from the mansion and from each other. Or we let them stand. It means that the mansion obviously will now sit at the centre of all of those, and that could be its own problems. But it also means that we'd be able to return to those places. If some of them, once they're sealed back off, might not have any other access to other hidden worlds or back to Calcinea, they'll be returned to where they were. So, honestly, that's kind of a big enough choice that I want your I kind of want your thoughts on this one.
What, like right now?
No, but like we need to reach a decision before I restore the bindings and get the house back under control again. So that's one we can sleep on, but just
so
bit of
think about
forewarning.
It.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely one we should all sleep on. But good heads up, thank you.
Yeah, good to know. Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've got this is the time for questions about the past.
Please
Yay.
just tell us what
Hooray.
the fuck happened. Because, like, Vasilisa and the plan and all that. Like, what? Help.
Okay.
Yeah, just everything.
Just give me the plan.
If you could just tell us everything all at once.
Let's start
Okay.
with the splitting then.
Yes.
How
I need
was that
I need a
supposed to
starting
work?
point. I can get answers to questions, but we got to ask the questions and then.
So why did that
fish the
happen,
memories.
first of all? What was the idea behind it?
She scrunches up her eyes for a moment. And again, you see the glow of red around her hand as she clutches the hidden tiny skull. Okay. The plan was to create a sorcerer. So they found out that somehow you could make a sorcerer. You could create a sorcerer by putting a piece of divine spirit in an unborn child. It wouldn't work with someone who was grown. Otherwise, you end up with something similar, I think, to what happened to I suppose now the crew.
Or a Cedian.
Right.
Yeah, if you try and put them into someone who's fully grown, that fragment would just take over, and they would stay them. The fragment would, and the person would either be corrupted or cease to exist, depending on how strong they were and when they went in and the mechanism. I think the machine was designed to really overcome the mortal side of it and just do, as it were, a clean transplant. But going in when they aren't born yet, when they're still forming, the spirit is reborn as well. It's a sacrifice. Everything they were, all their memory, their identity dies to fuel the new the child, the sorcerer. They become one person, neither mortal, I kind of hate the word but it is right, nor spirit, but someone who stands in between, who is of both worlds but not quite either.
That makes a weird sense.
That's the way he thinks of it.
No, but with how you both look to somebody who's spirit sighted. I don't know if anyone's ever told you this, darling, but you look a bit funny to spirit sighted people. You look a bit more solid.
Rude.
Well, there's something of a spirit about you.
It's never really come up.
Yeah, you don't look like other people. You're more there.
Yeah,
but it's not like seeing a
describe
spirit.
it.
It's just like you look different, but only to us. So weirdly, you being a mix of both makes sense to me.
I only met the bugbear on the island, the bugbear cleric on the island, a couple of times, but he always did. She, I think she actually. I need to check my notes. They always looked at me a little weirdly. That might be why.
It's one of those things that maybe you could go, oh, maybe I'm imagining it, but like.
I just put it down to the fact that me and Mum were the only, goat horn tieflings.
It's like you've got a slight
That
inner
we knew.
glow.
That's exactly it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They're all shiny and stuff.
Was like I wouldn't be able to find you in a dark room, but there's something about that.
I don't
it's
believe
weird,
that. I
isn't
think
it?
you can find literally
I
anything
could
in
find
a
you
dark
in a dark
room.
room, but that's because, and he gestures to all of the eyes.
Because you got
Exactly.
eyes, so
It's why no, tell me, why did you need this? Why couldn't? And you see she's really fighting. D12 of that inspiration, is it?
yes.
Cool. This one I'm actually going to roll for. Okay. He's keeping some of the details, but I can get the gist of it.
Add D4s to this.
You can add a D4 to this.
Yeah, let me just check that I've got the sorcery points, because, it's been a
Oh,
day.
shit. We did the weird thing with the liar. Forgotten about that. We should remember that. Anyway,
Yes.
continue.
Yeah, that affects.
Oh, what
I
the hell
remember
am I
that affects the
sorcery
three of you. It did not affect victory.
I'm pretty
It
sure I
was
still
Victory
got.
is
inspiration at the time, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I still got at least 2, so I will add to it
Okay.
if I think it's going to make a difference. Yes, I do at least have 2.
Okay. Roll
Where's my
it.
4 gone? There's my 4. It's a whole 2.
Not quite enough to push it over, but you see her eyes screw up. Her eye screw up. Okay. There's some of it that's he's strong enough to keep from me, but I can get the gist. There's a limitation. There's a limitation that incarnate gods can't overcome. It's something to do with their nature. When they take form, they're limited to the powers they have. That the body has. They give their bodies powers, but they can only use those powers. And when they're not incarnate, I can't tell. There's a risk. There's a risk of death or dissolution or something that Kotzal wasn't in a place to risk. If he lost his body, he would. I'm getting a certainty that he would have died or ceased to exist in some way.
Right.
But if you're in the right place, you can do miracles. But he wasn't, and he couldn't be. It was impossible. I don't know why, and I can't tell why. It was impossible to reach that, to be able to do that. But a sorcerer is different. A sorcerer's power grows over their life. They could maybe reach that power on their own, especially if they got to the Citadel. So the plan was to try and have their cake and eat it. It was...
Wait, there's cake? Where's the cake?
Metaphorically speaking.
Don't bring pretend cake into it when there could be real cake.
Well, this was a cake that was split into 7 parts so they could try and have 6/7 of the cake.
That's really hard to cut into 7 pieces. You want to go with 8, really.
Oh, you're losing me with the real cake. What is... Stop with the metaphor. What
Sorry.
is this?
Originally, their plan was stuck. They were considering whether they could try and put his spirit into a body, into an unborn child, and create a sorcerer, but it would kill him for certain. And for some reason, Mum. He suggested it at one point, but Mum didn't want to go through. Tell me, he doesn't know why. He's not quite sure why. He thinks that she's weak, but I can't tell if that's a Kotzal thought or an Era thought. You will hear friend speak. Because she loved him, and she didn't want him to die.
Right. So,
Wait,
she didn't want him to go ahead with putting his spirit into an unborn child because then he would have to be reborn and that would mean he'd die?
Yes.
And she loved him.
He would cease to exist and she loved him.
Because it'd be split into too many pieces and then none of them are quite the whole.
No, they didn't have... The splitting wasn't a thing yet. The original plan was to just put...
To just get
No,
the whole thing
the splitting came later. The first part was the plan. First, they planned to make to make a sorcerer by sacrificing his whole soul.
Oh, literally just like, by God's soul, now
his
you're
whole
another
spirit.
person.
And then they found it. They found the way to split him into 7 parts, and that was the plan. They were going to carve him
so they're going
into
to put him
7
back
pieces.
together later.
Sacrifice 1/7 of his spirit, of his identity, his personality, of him, to create the sorcerer, and then merge them back together so that the majority of Kotzal would still exist and would take over the sorcerer, kind of like with the what Era was planning to do. So they could have the best of both worlds. They'd have the personality, the memories, the identity of Kotzol, but the power of a sorcerer.
So the idea was 7 pieces, boom, splitty. Yep, very dramatic telling from me.
Yes.
We put one of them into a not yet baby.
Yeah.
And then that one gets reborn, and later you add the other 6 back on?
Yes, that was the original plan. The plan after they figured out to split them. Because then you'd have, mostly, as they saw it, Kotzol, reborn with the power of a sorcerer, and ready...
What about that other person?
Yeah. Sorry, pain's a little heavy.
One bit gets reborn and is somebody else.
Yes.
Where did the thought of the somebody else come into this? Were they just going to be squashed?
I think they were, yeah.
Wow.
I think that was the plan.
Somebody's got to slap Vasilisa, man. Like, come on.
I'll do it.
I'll fucking do it if you want.
She slaps back.
Oh, I don't care. Somebody still needs to.
As one of the would-be sacrifices, I feel very complex about that.
That's fine. You don't have to know what you're feeling at all. Don't you rush that.
But that was the plan, and then it all balls up.
So how did it balls up?
Did I die? Was that it?
No, this was before.
Oh, good.
Whatever.
I ballsed up
The
before
answers to
that.
how that
Even
happened would
better.
also be great, though.
No.
Oh, I got murdered by that guy, what we murdered, and then he came back and we murdered him again.
Yes, but like, how did you come back?
Okay, at some point you need to tell me
Your
this
ashes
story.
were scattered in the waves. Like, how did... Anyway,
we're gonna. I'm confused by that, but we'll discuss that another time. It sounds.
We need some red string. Has anyone got any red string and a
Corzin's
Yes,
got loads. he carries red string with him, just in case.
We got it off the Mothman.
yes. Mothman had a red string board.
And Corzin's added it to his I'm sorry, but already stock that he has for his fucking Kraken Wall of Doom.
It's perfectly practical. Also, it's a wonder you can keep any of it together without it, frankly.
Anyway, no, Era got impatient. Era, what they didn't anticipate was that when you know, as far as I can tell, there was a mutiny of sorts, and Friend cuts in. Yeah, strangely, I suppose you could say my forebear didn't anticipate that when you split someone into multiple pieces, those pieces might not be the most stable in terms of personality.
Well, if they're a seventh of a person...
Era essentially grew impatient. He tried to launch a revolt of sorts, to take over Vasilisa and the as yet unborn Scamp at the same while Vasilisa was still pregnant, which would have caused Vasilisa to stop existing for all extents and purposes as anything more than a puppet. And also...
So it would have actually taken over Vasilisa too.
Yes.
Right.
There was a fight between the fragments. Some of them thought it was wrong. Some of them agreed. Some of them just didn't want her to die. As I said, split into many pieces.
Sounds even more messy than they could possibly have imagined.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like that both Mum and Kotzel were both people who very much felt like, who were very much in the risk it all on a game of pitch and toss camp.
Yeah.
And got a lesson in hubris.
That's the word I've been looking for. I always thought it was called hubris.
I like that
Yeah,
version.
it's weird when you
Lots of
just see a
books.
word written down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fair. It happens.
Yeah.
Sounds like a drow cleric name. Hubris.
Hubris.
Intercessor Hubris. Like, come on, though.
Yep.
Doesn't
yeah,
it?
No, that entirely. Yep.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I don't really know drow last names, but yeah.
It just feels like one. I don't know. It's got the vibe, you know?
Hubris Lalifas or something.
That's not bad, actually. Yeah, Hubris Lalifas.
Or maybe if ever Sander needs an alias or something.
No, well, I'll tell them that has to be their name. They'll love it. They love weird
Yeah,
sendings.
they'll entirely love that.
their
No
favourite.
way will that be a problem at all.
That is, I mean, yeah, that's the... Not much to add there, except that after the rebellion failed, Vasilisa, I guess, it sealed everyone away. All of the skulls in different places for... Well, Mum always told me that one day we'd go back to find some important things, which I guess she gestures. And that the maps had been stolen.
Right.
We need to get those back. But I guess you've managed to find a number of those already.
Yeah, I have one little link that's missing. So,
Who's the map made of?
I mean, that might tie into my question, actually, so maybe we'll ask these together. So, Scamp died,
Yeah.
then she had you. She clearly didn't have you with Kotzel,
No.
because Kotzel was in bits,
Yeah.
and you can't really fuck friend, can you? Let's be honest. So, like,
Wow, says Fred.
you could just
Rude.
do not corporeal down. It's just
Valid, but wow.
I'm really tired. My filter's like way down. Sorry, but
Oh, I don't care. I just wow.
yeah, I know. I don't know what's wrong.
Carry
with it.
on, please.
But that's was. I mean, again, I think Scamp that my question ties in here because, like, is that who the maps is? Is that your dad, or is your dad still out there? We need to be concerned. Like, what are we? What?
I
Help.
mean, I would argue that I have, in a sense, I have two dads. One that apparently
I agree.
donated a soul to me, but no, my biological father, as opposed to my spiritual father,
This is
was
feeling all religious now, and it's
yeah.
weird.
I mean, it literally is. It literally is Scamp. But yeah.
I hate it.
From what I understand, talking to the other members of the crew over the years, Vasilisa had a first mate that she was close to, real close to, before I came around. She never talked about what exactly had happened, but I guess we know now. But she was betrayed by them. She thought, well, I guess I heard a rumour from someone that she found out from, I can't remember if Victory was there for this, but heard one of the crew saying that they heard later, recently, that you'd given her some information that it was the wrong person, that's her old quartermaster had done it, which I guess was killed you, or thought they'd killed you.
So that would have been Gull?
Gull, that's the name, yeah.
Wolverine, yeah.
Well,
He's an arsehole.
he apparently framed the first mate at the time who she trusted. She thought he'd done it and killed and skinned him and turned his skin into maps.
So we have your dad map skin.
No, her next first mate was my biological dad. And,
Okay.
Oh, good. Weirdly, that helps, actually.
Yeah, he
Not much, but,
he died when I was 2. Reavers.
I'm sorry.
Ah, shit.
With most of the crew got away, the ship got away, but they're very good shots, long range.
I'm
And
sorry.
they came at us with wyverns from the sky.
Fuck.
I mean, I was a toddler. I don't remember, but that's what I was told.
Horribly, at some point we should probably ask Facilita a lot about that.
Yeah, we ought
But that's
to.
for later.
But yeah, I just never really knew him.
Oh, it's fair.
She shrugs. Oh, painkillers have set in.
Good.
Good.
But you're another 7th.
Yeah,
Got that right.
yeah.
Okay.
Which means at this point, 5/7 are... Sorry, 6/7
Accounted
are
for.
accounted for. I guess 5/7, because I don't know where the fuck Lux has run off to.
Yeah, that's a problem, but never mind.
Yeah.
Nothing to be done. None of us had the strength.
We might be able to square
no.
them later if it becomes relevant, but
I do know
now.
that whoever ran off with the mask, with the maps, would have been in the best place to find wherever the other 7th was, the last 7th is, because obviously they didn't take any of the others. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's everything that I can think to ask. If you got more questions, he's at his weakest. This is the night to ask them. I can find more later, but I don't know how successful I'll be.
I don't want to know what's in the Cirrus Citadel, but he doesn't know that, does he?
No.
Yeah.
are there any answers that you feel you're missing still?
Yeah, either of you. You're the important parties here.
Oh, probably a fuck ton, but I can't think. I'm sure there's stuff I should ask.
Even if it's weird, you know?
Yeah.
And, I mean, hell, if you want a bit of alone time to talk about it together, that is also okay. Like, just let us know.
I'm just feeling very weird about a lot of stuff, so I don't know.
Well, it feels to me like this
I have a
thing
question.
is...
Oh.
Go on.
Does that bowl do ice cream?
Only if it's chocolate or alcoholic ice cream.
That sounds really fucking good.
Take a rum and raisin?
I refuse to do raisins. It doesn't do raisins. It's broken with raisins. There are no raisins.
Rum and fudge.
That
it does
sounds
that.
fucking incredible.
It's just
Does,
weird.
yeah,
It just
sound
won't.
quite
It
good.
won't do raisins. You can try all you like. No raisins.
Scamp. You've both been through a very trying day.
Well, in which case, we might as well not argue about it and have ice cream that everybody will like. Raisins are stupid, I do agree.
Thank you.
I like raisins.
They're depressed grapes.
You're wrong.
They're
Think of them
grapes
more as
that
like
keep.
grape jerky.
They're grapes with depression.
I don't know what people have against raisins. I like a raisin. Sultana even. I like
No, it's
sultanas. Says
Very
the
sensible food
CDM.
on a ship.
That's nice. But I'm
They
glad
last
you
for
like
ages.
those. I think maybe I just had too many fucking dried fruits in the Underdark, to be honest.
Yes,
sounds
that I can
Everything
understand.
that wasn't like a mushroom or a weird insect was dried. So, yeah. Really fucking boring. Enough raisins in my life. And raisins were considered like an interesting thing, and I just thought they were disgusting.
I suppose No, not even a place for root vegetables.
There are some root vegetables, but they're just a bit sad. They're not potatoes, you know? Potatoes are much better.
Yes, they are.
I do like a potato.
You know, one of these days I'm going to have to write up that incomplete list of all the things you can do with potatoes.
I really feel like there should be more questions, but that was also quite a complete explanation, honestly.
Ask what his favourite type of potato is.
What?
I dare you.
Right. Why are you fighting me on this?
Oh, it could be something really important.
Is it embarrassing?
The
Is there an
potatoes.
embar-
No,
is there
I've
an
just got
embarrassing type of potato?
a memory of him eating some like potatoes roasted with goose fat as part of a banquet.
Oh, that sounds kind of good, actually.
I think he's just being a prick.
That doesn't
That
sound
sounds very
embarrassing.
likely.
Oh, the potatoes did taste good though. Weirdly remember how they tasted.
If we got any potatoes, what would we do? Rationalise? Maybe we should. Maybe we're all hungry and we need to fucking
I
have
think
dinner.
most of
I'm
the
gonna make a
potatoes
bowl
are
of
back
ice
at
cream.
the.
Actually, that is a question you can ask. In terms of provisions, what does this ship have? He'd know.
She focuses for a moment.
This ship questions is a really good train of thought. Why
Yeah,
have none of us
actually,
thought of
that's
this?
pretty good. Ooh, okay. This ship, provision-wise, is not great.
I don't suppose demons need to eat, do they?
No, they
not.
do.
Yeah, surely
It's
they do.
just that the crew all showed up in the last 3 days. You know what? I'm not going to tell. There were provisions. You're not going to want to eat them,
Didn't think so. Alright.
and they're probably. And now that they're not that I'm certainly not authorizing any more kidnapping of innocent people.
Oh, Regent, damn it, of course.
We're
That
going
kind of
to.
provision. Hooray.
Yeah, so we're going to need to stock up.
Where?
Oh. No, give me. Okay. Apparently, south of West Sunder, there's an exit that you can get a ship through
Okay.
Right.
that comes out on south of the continent.
So we could pop out, get some food, and pop back in.
Yeah. And I guess at that point it will just sail. This thing is... Yeah, I have definite memories of this that I can access of this ship being seaworthy, as well as, weird floating magma seaworthy.
Well, that's good to know, because by the looks of it, it doesn't make any sense structurally.
It really
but
doesn't.
I'm not questioning that right now. This is a place where the normal laws of what should make a ship float don't apply.
Yeah, it's down here. It's got to move by. I suppose we could fill the sails, or power. That's the other way, and it has some sort of enchantment that lets it glide through the magma like water,
Like it's not fucking rock.
like
yeah.
it's not solid rock.
What sort of speed is it capable of?
Give me a moment. She squints again. I think it's a little slower than the Krakensbane at full pace.
It's really fast.
So
Comparable to a third
yeah,
of force rate.
I'd say that comparable maybe to a fourth rate or to a fourth rate in speed. So from the outside, it's a little bit smaller than your regular sized frigate of today. But the sails are not quite as well equipped. Yeah, comparable to a fourth rate from there, but the internal capacity is astonishing. Like, this is closer to a first rate in terms of transport capability.
Or that's huge then. That alone is a tactical advantage.
Well, all of this whole... I don't know how they did it. Apparently, yeah, they didn't make the... Cotzol didn't make the ship. He stole the ship or acquired the ship. I don't have all the details, but it looks like it was originally made by the Giants.
Makes sense with how big certain things
Yeah.
are.
I suppose, yeah, that does make sense.
It's a weird old boat.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger inside than outside, but it's all self-contained.
I have a question. He doesn't know what's in the Sirius Citadel, we've established that, but what does a journey from here to there look like? Like, how long does it take?
That was why I was asking about speed.
Yeah, do we pop out and get food and pop back in? Is that a thing? Like, or is it like half an hour away? Like, what are we talking?
Okay. It's 1 day, there or thereabouts, by oar.
It's not awful.
To the cascade. It's like a waterfall of fire in reverse.
Sounds so terrible.
But the ship is the ship can pass through it. There's an enchantment that we can activate that's built into the ship. It was made to pass the cascade. Once you're through the cascade, it's an hour or so until we reach almost like a shore or a port. The memories that it's unoccupied, and then there's a passageway we can walk through that will lead us to the Citadel. That's as far as they
Alright,
got.
so the Citadel isn't in here.
No.
As in the void, not as in... Yeah.
Yeah, it's
in Calcinea.
Yeah. There's snow there?
Oh.
Ugh.
Right.
That sounds terrible.
Actually,
I quite like
they came
snow.
out in the middle of a blizzard.
Oh, so is it one of the poles?
No idea. They didn't stick around. They got to a door, but they couldn't get it open, and they realised that they'd need a sorcerer, so they turned back. But it'll be about a day's journey. It'll be about 2, maybe 3 days journey to get to the passage back to Calcinea that the ship will fit through.
Hang on.
What?
Do we need to get there first, go through and then go to the Sirius Citadel?
No, the cascade is on the way, but we don't have. But they're 2 separate destinations.
Okay.
So basically, in theory, if we wanted to, we could take 3 days, go to the Sirius Citadel on day 1. Well, yeah,
Do some tourism and then
get through the cascade would take a day, and then it would be another day and a half to get onwards from there.
To get back to where Mori
To get back
are.
to get back
to the mansion.
To get back to I think an island off the very bottom tip of Western Sunder.
Why would we want to go there after the Sirius Citadel?
I don't think we would. I'm just saying, if you want to get fresh supplies for the ship in a way that means we don't go back to the mansion and grab supplies from the mansion,
Don't really mind.
then, or I could send the ship on to there and get them to do that, to pick it up from there. That would take 3 days. The point is, if you want, I'm going to be blunt.
I'm only worrying about supplies if we actually need them, darling. If we're all right, it's fine.
Yeah, Corzin.
Yeah,
You've got some mad plan someday that involves a lot of ships, right?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, if you want this ship to join you in that mad plan, it's going to need to sail on out and come back. Like the long way, as it were. That's the problem. I can't... this ship could get to Newmark, but not in a day. Or, in fact, it'd probably take the better part of a month.
And the Sirius Citadel is
Right.
definitely not near Newmark. Cool.
No,
Not yet.
but
I'm there.
while we are here, we can use the ship to get to the Sirius Citadel.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm going to
Alright.
need... One
I
moment.
mean, if it's only like a day away, we might be alright for supplies.
Texaray! She walks over, opens the door. Her new first mate. Yes. How many days of supplies have we got? He thinks. With the remaining... He pauses for a moment, looks at Scamp, shrugs. With the remaining bodies, we have perhaps 5 to 6 days. Then we should get some new food. Thanks. Carry on. He salutes, closes the door. Yeah, okay, so apparently they've got like 5 or 6 days of supplies here.
Oh, fuck it. Should we just go then? If it's
Alright,
only a
yeah,
day.
so we've...
I mean, we've got
we're not going to
rations
start
and shit, haven't
immediately.
we?
That's the main thing.
And then I guess we'll head back.
And then go back to the mansion and go back to Newmark.
Yeah.
So once we're back in Calcinea, we can send directly. We don't have
We
to...
can also just go wherever the hell we like, really, can't we?
I suppose.
No, it's true.
Can't
yes.
take the ship, but yeah.
That is
I'll need
true.
a nap, but I can just... Can't take the boat through, but...
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
I guess we're going then, aren't we? We're going to the Sirius Citadel. Like in a
Yes.
day.
Yeah.
So this is going to be obviously your stateroom, but are there quarters below?
There's crew bunks.
Any unoccupied currently?
I mean, yeah, because I think we accidentally crushed a few of the crew. Or maybe not even accidentally, it was a battle.
Oh.
You're going to have to... I'll see about organising things so that you're not sandwiched
Dead man's
between...
hammock. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a bit of space.
Otherwise, you're welcome to keep in here.
That might be nice.
Just roll out the old bedrolls, as it were.
In
Well,
the bunks
didn't want to
with all
presume,
the
but if you're
scary
all right with
demon
that.
friends. Yeah.
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 Do you all want to keep here?
That might be nice,
Let's
actually.
eat this entire bowl full of ice cream and then go to sleep. It'll be like a little party.
Yes.
All right.
That
But you
sounds
know,
really
on a
good.
lava sea surrounded by scary people where we're all bleeding quite a lot still. So not much of a party, really.
I'll see if there's any spoons around here.
You are actually able to find...
Anyone on an off day ever.
You're able to
I knew it
find
the second I said it, but I'm committing.
2 sets of cutlery. So, a couple of spoons, and some of
Scamp
you
will use their hands.
some of you can eat like with a fork, ice cream with a fork if you really want.
Yeah.
What, like savages? No, I'll use my hands, thank you very much.
You take some time to eat some ice cream and try,
Drink a little bit of alcohol.
Yeah.
A fair bit. Yeah.
and you try to get some rest. So, I have a question for each of you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you've taken all the actions you can to save victory?
Oh no. What
You
are
know
the
what?
side effects of you're a
Yes,
monster?
actually. I've like all the way up till like the point where I couldn't think of anything to do. I was actually doing stuff to help
Okay.
Victory, including like going into her thoughts and stuff.
Yep,
you know?
no, you've done quite a lot.
I
to save
can't think of
victory.
anything else I could have done,
If save
and including
victory from
plunging my
death,
hand into
yes.
her eye socket. Like I really tried,
Yep,
because
yep, okay.
that counted as saving her in my head because
Yep,
the thing was
the
making
wording
her
was
bad.
save victory.
Yep.
Cool. All 3 of you now need to make a wisdom save, please.
I'm not entirely convinced that. I don't think
yeah,
Scamp
did you
believes they
two?
did. Like, Scamp is feeling some weird guilt about failing to like that. Like the being dominated and heading for the throne. That's That was the whole problem.
Okay, well, you make your save with disadvantage.
Yeah.
10.
What about you, Sam?
I think if it's just as simple as attempting to save victory from death, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
decent,
roll a
actually.
10 on the wisdom save.
4.
I rolled... What did I roll? Who am I? A 20.
Okay.
Dirty.
I would say, Celestia, you are able to start getting some rest. Corzin and Scamp, you try to rest, but you're haunted by the thought that you could do more. You could have done more. You can still do more to save victory. So, come up with an action. Can you come up with a way to try and save victory right now? Because until you do, you can't rest.
Oh, shit. That's real bad.
Side effects.
Throughout this scene, Celestia's just passed out in a whiskey stupor on a bedroll.
Yeah.
What could we do in this moment to save victory? Is victory sleeping?
Victory is sort of like what is Victory doing right now? Victory is turning something over between her fingers, a bit of carved maybe a bit of like scrimshaw whalebone or something.
Right.
Just looking at it and thinking.
Corzin will go up to Victor and say, I'm sorry I didn't think of this sooner, but here, take this healing potion. It should take some of the edge off those wounds.
Thanks. I think you've done a lot, but I'll keep it handy, and hopefully that'll work.
No, really, it's important that it can be used as a salve as well as just being drunk.
Thanks. She dabs a little bit onto a handkerchief and rubs it on as if to placate you. Roll another wisdom save, please.
Okay. Alright, that is a 15.
I'm asleep, I can't help.
Okay. I'm trying to think if you've... Okay, I don't know whether you can do much, but Scamp, you see Corzin looks like for a moment, like he's struggling with something.
I mean, if the criteria is just save victory from dying...
the wording was
save victory.
Victory.
Was the wording. Take it how you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
I do have 2 sorcery points left.
up to you. You feel like there's a moment happening that you could sway.
Yeah, I'll try and help. Nope, it's a 1.
Oh, there is one other thing I can do.
Okay.
I'm going to have to use a 3rd level spell slot to do it.
Okay.
But I am going to take 10 minutes and cast Magic Circle around wherever she happens to be.
Okay. Yeah. You start, preparing the spell, and it's like,
10-foot
What-
radius,
what do you-
20-foot cylinder.
what are you doing?
This should keep you safe from any, bunch of different things can't pass over this the threshold of this once it's established. You'll be safe within it.
Right. I guess good if Lux tries to come back or something.
Exactly. Well, one of them definitely is fiends, but there's a bunch of others as well.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, solid. Thanks.
No worries.
You can try and
So
roll.
I do this for little Corzin every night.
You can try and roll the wisdom save again.
Okay. 16.
What was that?
16.
Oh, dude.
That you're out of sorcery points, aren't you, Scamp?
Yeah, I'd have to... I think I might have 1 first level spell left I'd have to convert, but I don't currently have any points.
Okay, so wait, was that a you can add a D4 thing, or
Yeah, but I can't do that right now.
Right, okay, right.
Okay, I'm going to say that's 3 failed saves. So,
Shit.
for tonight, you are not you try to head back and you try to get some rest in, but you toss and turn, just filled until the morning comes. With a
Would a short rest be possible, or is that not?
Yeah, well, okay, I'll say you get a short rest, but not a long rest. Like maybe in the course of it, you could get you can spend some hit dice. But
That is what I will do.
But you are. But I would also say you now need to roll a Constitution.
Oh yeah,
I think it's.
I'll happily do that.
I think it's check rather than save.
Okay, well.
Let me just check what the exhaustion rules are. Because it's
I
the
can't
number
remember.
of.
It's either or, really.
Yeah.
I rolled a 19 for what it's worth.
Okay. You avoid a level of exhaustion.
Helpful.
Yeah, okay. Or do you? You know what? I'm balancing this slightly on the fly.
Okay.
I'm going to say no. You get a level of exhaustion, but the curse lifts at the end of the time you would have spent sleep resting. So basically, it persists for. I'm going to decide that this basically you won't until you next would naturally take a long rest. So we'll say this persists for about so you can't just immediately take a long rest again.
Am I aware of it being gone when it is?
For that, roll as a charisma check for self-awareness.
Charisma check, okay.
It would come later, though, wouldn't it? That wouldn't be now.
Oh yeah, you won't realise it now, but
yeah, no.
Cool. Yeah,
it's literally just
yeah.
If I am aware of it, there is stuff. Okay, that's a dirty 20.
I'll say that midway through the next day, you suddenly realise that. Hold on, you were really focused on saving victory last night.
Like, that was a magical compulsion, wasn't it?
Yeah, you realise that something's off. But you don't realise that tonight. Tonight, you toss
that's
and
fine.
turn,
If we get
to get
there
rest.
and Scamp is still under the effects of it, then Corzin can do something.
So, Scamp.
Yeah.
Can
I'm going to
you
set up
do
an alarm
something?
for a start. That's the thing to keep people safe at this point. I've got no spells, but I can ritual cast.
Okay, you work on setting up an alarm. Roll again. So this is make your second attempt. Of the wisdom
Bloody
save.
hell. That actually might do it. 18.
Okay, that is Celestia's save DC. So
Yeah, I was
you,
gonna say-
It is. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Otherwise, that was never going away because my modifier is a 0. I got fucking lucky.
You feel like after setting up the alarm, yes. Okay, no, you're doing a good job of saving victory. You've done enough for today. You can rest. You don't
Now
know.
I'm just left with my normal guilt rather than the magically
Yes.
compelled guilt.
Hooray!
Hooray!
That at least you do have. So two of you get to sleep.
Oh, thank fuck.
No.
I mean,
'Cause I am completely tapped.
Yeah. Victory needs to go to fucking bed at this point, doesn't she, poor thing?
Yeah.
Sometime
I'm
around,
such a mess as well.
by your best guess, between 1 or 2 a.m. on the 28th of falling leaves, you will awake. By which time, I will say, the ship is... Before, I was actually saying, because I forgot to say this beforehand, the last thing that you do before you rest is Victory snaps orders to Texaray, and you feel... Corzin, because you can't sleep, about 2 hours in, you feel the strange experience of the ship getting underway.
This would be familiar to Corzin.
And you hear the sort of shouts in Infernal as... strangely squeaking oars are pulled elsewhere in the ship. I mean, I guess you can't sleep, so you can go in and walk out and look if you really want.
Yeah, might as well.
You get up and make your way up. Outside the throne room, where the rubble has been largely just moved to one side for the moment, you can see that the banks of bunks also lead on to, well, basically galley or positions where the 200 odd demons are holding long oars of this strange black sky glass and are thrusting them into the magma.
Nuts.
And sailing with them. The glass is obviously enchanted. You can see the paddles at the ends are inscribed with gigantic symbols that are glowing a discordant sort of blue, and seem to be doing something to the viscosity of the magma, enough to allow them to pass through them like they were water.
Well, there's something you don't see every day.
One of the demons looks over.
Sorry, and Corzin kind of points to he's like, do you speak common? Oh, no, actually no.
The demon looks and speaks, points to his ear.
Yes, quite.
Sort of waves a hand dismissively and returns to his rowing.
Corzin, feeling a little bit kind of embarrassed by that, it goes back up on deck.
Up on deck, you get to experience. You look around and you see the ship in motion. The sails of strange woven silvery black, sort of greyish glass are currently still furled. There is no wind here, but you can see the oars poking out of the side of the disconcertingly smaller ship, extending quite some distance and propelling the ship forward. The whole, peering over the edge, you can see that the whole of the ship is now lit with these curling, gigantic script designs, glowing a soft blue, and presumably extending the same sort of viscosity enchantment over the magma below it.
Okay, like, building materials aside, if I had to compare the style of construction of this ship to anything Corzin had seen before, what does it most closely resemble?
It's a strange sort of combination between a caravel and a sort of Phoenician era galley. It's not like a trireme. It's only got one hull. Like, it's a single hulled ship, but it very much feels like an all-propelled galley, but with the lines of it, the way the sails go. This could sail on the sea as well, on the open sea, with wind power as well as all power.
So it would resemble like a historical.
Oh yeah, this is a historical vessel.
Right. Okay.
Like, you've seen drawings of ships similar to this, but again, usually with more holes.
Little Corzin probably at some point had a book or like a set of leaflets about various different historical types of ship.
Little Corzin is going to fucking shit his little tiny pants when he sees this ship. I'm so excited.
Like a book with like fold outs, so like you have a picture of a ship and then it folds out and you see inside it. I had a book like that. You like lift a flap to see inside the structure of the ship.
That sounds amazing.
It was a really good book, and there was always one guy on a toilet somewhere, and that's what you had to look for.
I love that.
It was a really good book.
Excellent.
Some things do not change. You do find an equivalent of the CVs.
Yay.
Corzin probably will we'll use it at some point.
It's
Shit
the
on
most
magma.
Yeah, it's the most terrifying. It's genuinely one of the most terrifying shits you've ever had.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
frightened. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not loose before, you will be by the time you're out there.
Oh,
Right, okay.
You.
Well, the mechanics of that aside...
it's very important.
Speaking of which, you smell the cooking scent of the galley and avoid it.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
There are a number, I'm not going to get into the full details of the vessel, but another thing that does come to mind, however, are the 3 ballista-like. Honestly, they're closer to they're almost closer to swivel cannons in appearance. That are emplacements on the ship. One at the bow and 2 on the aft castle.
I mean, from a scaling point of view, they've got to be huge compared to Corzin.
Oh, interestingly, they are, but they're not that much larger than...
Also, they're not giant-sized.
Interestingly, no.
Okay.
Looking at them, you would say that the bigger of the 3, the one at the bow, was probably could be operated comfortably by someone the size of, say, Littleman, a hill giant, but could also be operated by a large human.
Okay.
Similarly, the aft emplacements seem to be designed to be operated by someone of human or Achene size.
Right, because it was a thing. I mean, I swear I wasn't thinking along these lines. It's just a convenient means of measurement. But if it were something giant size, then Corzin would be roughly the size of the projectile you'd load into it.
Indeed, and we'll talk about that. I will say that there are relatively few parts. Some parts of the ship are sized more for giants. The throne room, they're not. Interestingly, the throne room, but not the throne. The throne was large enough for the Baelor form of era to have sat in it. So maybe the throne, but not as large as, say, but it wasn't as big as, say, the...
Yeah, because aren't those like 20 feet tall?
Actually, no, sorry, I'm misremembering that. Yeah, no, sorry, no, the throne would have comfortably sized a giant, because it was 20 foot tall. So, no, you're right, that was about the right size. And this was the passageway to and the entryway to the captain's quarters. But the majority of the ship actually seems to be quoted size for people of similar size to or maybe slightly taller than humans.
All right.
10-foot tall tops in terms of comfort for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like...
It's still massive from Corzin's perspective.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah.
But the feeling is that this was meant to be captained by a giant, but probably crewed either by maybe hill giants or trolls at the largest, but probably a Achene or someone like them.
Okay. Good to know.
The emplacements do not have anywhere to load projectiles. They appear to be, for want of a better term, long cylindrical shafts of a combination of sky glass, mithril, and complex mage metals that are basically tied to glyph-like triggers.
Wow.
Yeah,
Right,
these are designed
magic.
to cast spells.
Spell cannons.
Oh, cool.
Okay. I've got to have the others look at this. He makes the mental note.
Corzin wandering around when he can't sleep, being a big nerd, isn't he?
Basically, yeah.
Ooh,
like he's
that.
probably tried to sleep for a couple of hours, gone, look, it's
fuck
pointless
it.
keeping up the pretense now. I'm going to actually walk around and do something active.
Yeah. You see the various members of the crew like bark instructions to each other in Infernal that you don't really understand. They keep a weather eye on you, but make no hostile move towards you for the most part. They just seem to be dealing with, well, this is all strange.
Yep.
Unfortunately, none of them speak Jovan.
There's not really a good reason why they should, but yeah. Well, actually, if it occurs to him, Corzin will.
If it occurs to you, it occurs to him.
Okay, I was just actually kind of thinking aloud there, but okay. Now, Corzin will attempt, if Jovan fails, to try and speak some Old Gigantic, in case that works.
One of the. What do you say in Old Gigantic?
It would actually just be a generic greeting like, good day, pleasant to meet you.
Okay. You say that, and one of the... making a note of this. Okay, so as you say this, one of the I guess, yeah, who do you want to approach? Because you can approach people. There's the people who are rowing. There are some who are above deck. There's some standing guard by the magic cannons. Some moving stuff, just clearing up the throne room a bit.
I'll speak to the person who's currently at the helm.
Okay, you speak to the helmsman. Helmswoman, as far as you can tell, from her. You know, like she seems to have a more feminine goat demon shape, and she. And as you say the sort of like greeting, hello, how is your day? In Gigantic, she actively recoils for a moment, and then warily says, "You speak the tongue of the masters."
Well, I'm not fluent, but I've been trying my best to learn it, yes. I haven't really had a person I can practice with yet, although my accent's probably terrible.
They are not still around. They are dead.
To be perfectly honest, I don't know. I've certainly not met anyone else who can actively speak it.
Good. I hope it dies with them.
No love lost, then.
Do you know what it is to live with your mind but no body? No arms, no legs. The sensation of hunger, but no teeth. I had no voice, and I could not scream. I do not know how many centuries I was in that jar. Yes, I hope they are all dead.
Oh my fucking god.
I hope then it's not impertinent of me to ask, but do you know how many of the rest of the crew might also be able to speak this language?
She looks about. Most would understand. Few would speak. It is not our tongue, but those of us who were once placed in charge learned to speak it, never to speak back to the masters, but so we might better convey their orders.
Well, it's literally just a means of practicality. I don't speak your native tongue, you don't speak mine, but we have a language in common.
She nods stiffly. This is true. And it gives me a pleasure to speak it without permission in some ways.
Well, I'm glad to be able to give you the opportunity, but I also hope that in so doing it isn't seen as me being disrespectful to you.
She tilts her head. Respect. There is a strange concept.
I'm a guest aboard this ship. The circumstances are a tad bizarre, but I'm still going to do my best to be hospitable.
Well, I am glad to hear that.
It's the law of the sea. Assuming this is still, well, and he kind of looks over the side. Never mind about that now.
I was one of those who knew something of the sea. I can remember how to... She gestures to the wheel. Although actually at this time it would actually probably just be a tiller rather than a wheel.
Yeah, it's why I said helm, because I wasn't sure.
Yeah, she gestures to the tiller. But this was not how they had me serve. The others, well, they need merely row, and that is enough for now. The Goat Lord, the captain, the old captain, I suppose. They are and are not the new captain.
That's a whole load of complicated.
The pact was clear. We would serve, and he would give us what we were denied. So we serve. We must. The body demands it.
The body?
The flesh.
Oh, I see.
She looks at her hand, twitching a little. It cannot break our word on this. He made them this way. He knew something of the tricks of the old masters.
I think I understand.
But compared to what we were, we are free. We can feel. We can breathe. And live in your world. And be and still still be us. Better this than oblivion.
I don't doubt it. Well, thank you, and
small one, what is your name?
Corzin Horhace, pleased to meet you.
Patoxel.
Sorry, can I just get that one more time?
Patoxel.
Ah, that was more out of character,
Yeah.
so I knew it, but yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you. I'd better go and check on my companions.
And also to you. You head back down and try and fail to get some rest.
Yeah.
And as you, as the ship heads underway, we will come back in with the continuation of the journey after these, no doubt important, messages.
Or you be planning a sailing trip? Well, then you need Buccaneer's Best Buy travel insurance. Whether it's the choleric, melancholic, phlegmatic, or sanguine ocean, we have a policy that'll fit your needs. Buccaneer's Best Buy travel insurance. Don't make sail without it.
And welcome back. So, you, after a night's rest or lack thereof, you awaken, breakfast on your own rations rather than visiting the ship's galley, at least until until more regular supplies can be taken on, and make your way up to the deck. Where those of you who did not join Corzin's nighttime wanderings are able to witness many of the same things. The magma sea is... well, there are large parts of it which are indeed contiguous flows of burning rock. Other parts seem to... but it's more like a series of lakes and channels that the helmswoman guides you through, following the line of the compass. You see Victory speaking with her first mate, Texero, a certain amount, and the pair of them go over some maps, not made of tiefling skin, that the Victory obtains from the captain's quarters. The map of the Magma Sea seems a little incomplete and hand-drawn in places, but she is able to discuss with him, you gather, the route that will take them first to the Cirrus Citadel, as planned, and then onwards from there. She fills you in. So I've spoken to my new first mate a little bit. The plan is pretty much we're going to get through as close as we can to the Citadel. The four of us, 5, 6 of us.
I left my cat with the butler.
It's alright, we'll go back soon.
She'll be well fed, right?
Safe.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there was enough food put by in that place to feed us for like 100 days or more.
She will meow at him and he will be like, young master, you're fucking ham leg or whatever, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's all fine.
Your cat's
she's
going
gonna
to
be
be
fine.
very round.
She is.
She's supposed to be a
I hope
happy
she's
cat.
not too upset with me. I miss her.
We'll go get her very soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're not allowed to die because my cat's waiting for us.
That is actually...
And that would be fucking tragic. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
that's nearly as bad as little Corzin waiting for Corzin.
Yep. Yeah.
There's just some people you don't disappoint.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've kind of been trying not to think about that one.
That is the plan, not the dying of disappointing the going back. She points to the crude map again. Yeah, we're going to go as far as we can get to the Sirius Citadel. Go visit that. I don't know how long we'll be there, but the crew has supplies, has some supplies laid in. Let's try not to be more than 2 or 3 days. And then when we're, I guess, done there or have found what we're looking for or something, or we just need to turn back, we come back, they take us back to the docks, we get back to the mansion, seal that up or make a decision. I've basically talked it through with Texaray here. There are some charts of Western Sunder. I think they're dating back to when Mum was originally on the vessel, so they're a bit out of date, but not too out.
How long ago was that?
Oh, 15, 16 years.
Alright, so yeah, out of date, but not horrendously so.
So, good enough to get them to Porto Omicidio.
Shape of the coastline's not going to have changed that much.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that would do it, wouldn't it?
And they'll be able to... Yeah. They'll be able to get some supplies once they get to port. I'm giving Texaray some instructions about where they can pick up supplies for barter, or just get harvest some fruit or something.
Yeah.
Right. I don't suppose they have any kind of coin whatsoever, do they?
Yeah, so there's some money here.
Right.
How much money?
I feel like, based on the fact that some of it is almost certainly legal tender from a couple of decades ago, Mum stashed some stuff here, and I'm claiming an early inheritance on that.
Fair compensation, darling.
Enough to pay for, certainly enough to pay for some supplies.
All right, well, nice that that's not a problem.
Right, that's that.
And maybe some fishing nets or something.
Yeah, once we're out in the open sea.
This boat, like this ship, is reasonably well supplied in some things and utterly missing in others.
I suppose it's stocked to the needs of the crew like anything.
Yeah.
I mean, the crew's new, that's sort of the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was stocked for the needs of the crew, which was like one person until recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how... She pauses for a moment, scrunches her face up. Oh, it is harder today, but... Okay, yep, no. Alright, I know how she got the... how she manned the old the ship before. That's not practical here and now. Skeletons.
Right.
Oh.
Or zombies.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd do it.
No, that's why there's no fucking supplies.
Yeah, cheap to feed.
Yeah, that'll make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So that was... that's obviously not practical. And plus we have a crew now. Not going to think about that too deeply. So yeah, basically we're going to go... once we break off at once they've delivered us back to the dock, Texere is going to take the crew and the ship and head to Porto Omicidio. And we will, what's the Sulian term, rendezvous back with them there.
That works.
Right. Makes sense.
At some point.
Sounds like a
Whenever
plan.
we can. Yep.
Yeah. Worst comes to worst, Mum can send to the Captain's Council there.
At least let them know it's coming. Yeah.
And work that out.
I mean, frankly, I'd like to see half their faces when this ship turns up.
Oof.
Let's soil their britches.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of looking forward to it with some of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna we've got our plan sorted out. Apparently, it's gonna be so the oars and the hull more or less activate on their own once we started going. Figured out how to do that. We're going to have to manually activate, like get the spell going that'll take us through the cascade.
Okay.
What spell?
How do I do that?
It's built into the ship. I think that it should be possible. I mean, back when it ran originally, Kotzal was able to make it work. So I reckon you and I should have a decent chance of it, Scamp. But obviously it's not one we've done before. So all I say is, everyone just keep a weather eye out.
Right.
Will do.
Okay.
And we'll try and compensate if anything goes weird.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Also, Scamp and I are reasonably proofed against fire.
I'm not bad these days.
As are you.
But you maybe want to be, not directly
As
in
is
it.
the crew. Everyone looks at Corzin.
Cousin, can
Should
you
I go
just
below
like...
decks?
Do you want to sit inside a box or something? We'll get like 4 boxes of various sizes, put them inside each other, and you can sit inside the middle bit.
Or he could go below deck.
Like one of those.
Oh no, I was going to put the box
dolls.
below the deck as well.
Right.
I might as well just go below deck.
If you don't need help, I'd fucking love to be below deck while we go through the
No,
cascade
you definitely
of
go.
fire.
Please be below deck, both
Yeah,
of you.
I don't really fancy that. If there's another option than me being there, that'd be obviously if you need me, it's different. I'll figure it out. But
I wouldn't mind a little encouragement, but would also very much like you to be below the deck.
I can do that and then fuck off.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a little tiny thing.
Yeah.
So I'll do rounds of offering everyone a coffee, as ever, in the morning.
Yes, please. Actually,
Take one to victory.
Yeah, I'll take a coffee.
Quietly.
Why would you even bring it near me? What are you thinking?
This is also mine. I make you one and I drink it. Those are the rules.
Oh, that's fine. Right, I'm going to go do a thing somewhere else.
Have a good
You do
excuse
your
to have two. But yeah, quietly take one to victory, wherever she may be. And it's just a little chat. It's little, I promise. Oh, hey, coffee. There you go.
Thank you. Coffee, much appreciated.
Sorry.
Still smarts a bit, but
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
yeah.
So, yesterday was quite weird.
That is definitely one way of putting it.
Yeah, and I was quite mean about your mum, which I stand by. And I know
Thanks.
that I am going somewhere. I'm not just gonna leave after that sentence. Fucking hell, that'd be weird. I know that you don't need this from me, and I'm not trying to imply that you do, but I'm mad at your mum, not at you. And whatever I feel about the situation, support you, you've got a friend. Again, I know you don't need it, but I feel like if I was you, I'd want to know that there wasn't somebody standing behind me rolling their eyes.
She thinks for a moment, takes a sip of her coffee.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Again, I know you'd be fine without, but I thought it might be nice.
Thanks, I guess. I mean...
Shit's scary enough already without you feeling like everyone here isn't, completely behind you.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I came damn near to slapping you yesterday.
Well, it was fair.
But I imagine you'd do the same if I was talking shit about your mum, but apparently you didn't know.
No, we've become closer. Mm.
Right. Yeah, different. I feel like you and I, different relationship going on there.
Yeah, and like I said, I have my own thoughts, but they're not for you to worry about. And
yeah,
I'm behind you on it.
I feel like I've kind of going through a lot of growing up right now.
It's all right. If you need anything,
yeah,
let us know.
You absolutely sure can't get an eye back?
I'm really sorry, I really can't.
It's fine. Honestly, Mum said that sort of magic was like real.
I mean,
rare.
I've come across it once, but it was.
You did?
There was a potion, but it was when we robbed the fucking King of Soul, my darling.
Fuck. Okay.
And that one's been used, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
It's literally the only time I've even seen something like that.
Okay.
That doesn't mean there's nothing, though.
No, I just need to rob a king.
Oh, you've done it before. Is there another one?
I'll see if we could. We'll see if the Queen Beatrix shows up and nab her stash.
You're not alone. I guess that's the important thing. You're not alone.
That's actually really nice to hear.
Good.
Genuinely is.
Yeah, I mean...
I've got to say, this is not the way I expected this to go. I was steeling myself for a fight when you were coming over.
No, I don't want to fight. You don't need any more fights.
Yeah.
I'm really mad with your mum. I'm not mad with you.
Cool. Okay.
And I respect the decision that you've made on it. Again, not that you need that from me, but I thought it might be nice to hear.
I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks. I hope I can live up to it.
You can. You'll make it yours.
Between you and me? I think Scamp's real scared. I think too scared of who they might be to be who they are. And that's it. And maybe I'll have that chat with them at some point. I don't know. But they've grown up on sorcerer stories, and and they think that's who they have to be, or who they run the risk of becoming.
They're worried about being that for sure.
Yeah. My mum put it like this: you give someone a sword, they can kill with it now. They can. And maybe, in the hands of some people, you give them that ability and they will. Because that's who they are. And some people, they won't. Or they'll do it, for certain reasons. She always submitted. She always said, "Me, victory. I'm one of the former. They give me the when my pa gave me. She says pa. She means the old pirate Bloodbeard.
No, was her pa. That's fair.
When my pa gave me one, put the sword in my hand. I was good with it. I enjoyed it well enough, so I did it lots." She shrugs. But some people don't do that. I think, actually, from my experience watching the crew, most people don't do that. Mum's really good at killing people and takes to it naturally, and that's apparently not normal.
It's not, I don't think. No.
Yeah. But, that's her talent. The point she was making, though, is that, if you give someone a sword, if they were inclined to use it to hurt people, even if they didn't know that about themselves beforehand, they'll do it. If they're not, you've either got to train them to do it, or they won't. The point I'm saying is, I don't think the power we have makes us become, conquering tyrants. I think if you would be a conquering tyrant if you had the power, it gives you a means to do it.
I agree with that. I mean, you're not...
I think the question...
Frankly, you're not the only people in this group who can do some really scary shit.
Yeah, you are all, bad shit. I mean, the things you can do are...
I mean, I told somebody to do something once, and I knew that they would have to do it for a month. And I think I could do it for longer now. But... that doesn't mean...
to do that now.
Shit, scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's something else I can do too. I feel I could melt a person.
Fuck.
Not physically, like in their brain. Just make it go. I don't know how else to explain that. But my point is, it is what you choose to do with it. Because before I was more powerful, I did some really terrible things with my power. Now I'm more powerful, I do less terrible things. It's about where you're at. I think what scares Scamp, though, is that they have a slightly different thing to you. You're both sorcerers, don't get me wrong. There's a lot in common, there really is. But you don't get the random shit.
No,
But
it's a little different.
I think that's why they get so scared. Partly, I do agree with you. I think partly it's the sorcerer stories and the feeling of, I'll definitely be corrupt and all that stuff. I think that does come into it. But I also think that if I had that much power and I'd had things happen that were that random, I might be really afraid of it as well. Because, if you can do an earthquake and you have power that can be random and just burst out of you, what if you just fucking did an earthquake and you didn't mean to? They have a bit more control these days, I think, from what they've been saying, but they still get essentially just random stuff happening. And also they can
a fireball on my own head last episode.
Yes, you do.
You know what? I'm actually going to take that and run with it. I mean, you saw the random ass fireball. They nearly murdered me with one of them once. And they didn't mean to. It just happened.
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was just slightly outside the radius of it, and that's why I'm alive still. Which was also random.
I've always known it was coming, though.
I don't know with them. And also, they have this thing. I think they said they can sort of change things. Like, if they think something's not going to work, they can just make it work. And what if that's random? What if you do that without meaning to? Like, I get what you're saying with it's the type of person you are. But I also understand why they're so scared, and sometimes I fucking worry about it, to be honest. Because again, what if you just like fart and an earthquake happens? Like, what if it's that random? It's never been anything that big, but you know, they were a sheep once for like half an hour and they've never done that again.
Wait, what?
It was fucking weird, man. It was a weird day. But like but I think it's different. Just that element of it, I think it adds something different.
I haven't really thought about it like that.
Find myself keeping an eye on them a lot.
Really appreciated how out of control they felt there.
Yeah.
I just assumed they were doing random shit because.
No, that happens.
Because, don't get me wrong, like, Scamp's... I like Scamp, but their sense of humour is a bit like that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's fine.
Rude.
I think it's quite fun. But no, I get where you got that from. But no, they're not just randomly dropping fireballs on their own head for shits, my love.
She shrugs.
What is it? You know, I'm glad we're having this talk. I think it's probably time you got this, to be honest.
I think it's really important.
Although I suppose from the outside,
to clarify, I don't know most of your adventures.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, I hadn't really considered that. I mean, if you've got any questions.
I feel, you know, we've got a few hours. I'm sure we can do a bit of a general catch up.
Oh, yeah.
Go over the broad
It's probably about time I
me.
knew you better, darling.
Sure. I mean, most of the exciting bits are about different raids we've done, but
It's fair.
tell you about growing up in sunny climes, in a place where everyone religiously obeys the law. The handful of laws there are.
Not sure you want to hear about me growing up, darling. Maybe we'll stick to the nice adventures. Well, I mean, they weren't all nice, but maybe we'll stick to the above ground adventures, yeah?
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, presumably...
It'll get real depressing in here if we start talking about me growing up.
That's fair. But hey, I imagine that, you know, you've had a great time above ground.
Mostly.
Like, you know, it's like you've gotten to sail aboard the sea. That would have been good.
Oh, I nearly pissed myself when I first saw the sea, darling. You've no idea how big that is when you're used to a roof all the time.
Oh,
Imagine your first shit on a seat of ease when you've, like, never been outside before. Do you know how mortifying that is?
Just everything, and like trees. You must love forests.
Forests can suck my dick, Victory, if I'm honest. Fuck forests. You see, they feel like they'd be fun. They're not fun. Every single thing in a forest is an arsehole.
I feel like this is going to require some explanation.
Yes, I have
Do you
good
have more
explanations.
coffee?
Yes, I've
Okay.
always got coffee.
You take some time, if you want.
Yeah.
over the next few
Get the
hours
coffee
to
jitters with Victory.
Fill to physically have
Some
a
of
little
them are
coffee date
Irish.
with Victory.
Yep.
Filling Victory in on some of your adventures and why you hate
The above
forests
ground
so
adventures.
much.
Yeah.
Some of your above ground adventures and why you hate forests so much.
And we make friends a little.
And you make friends a little. Oh. Jason is briefly disoriented by binocular vision again because just closed one eye for that whole thing.
Yeah, it was quite interesting,
wow.
actually.
And
Method.
I'm just like, open my eyes again. It's like, whoa, perspective. Right. So the ship carries on, rowed through the magma sea until after the better part of the day you come upon it. As you enter into another large cavern filled with the roaring, roiling sea of molten stone. Most of these caverns are dimly lit. There is the low amount of fire. There's the light, the illumination that comes from the fire stretching, the natural flames and flickers that stretch along. But honestly, the air is also pretty ghastly and toxic for the most part. Especially when you pop your head over the sides of the ship, you begin to realise that there is some sort of enchantment or charm on the ship itself.
I was going to ask about that, for all the carbon monoxide and stuff coming off like that.
That seems to be keeping you from, passing out and dying from the toxic fumes here.
How much heat does the hull conduct?
Astonishingly little.
Would have to be, yeah. But,
it is don't get me wrong, it is toasty in there, but you are astonishingly well insulated from the literal molten magma all around. But up ahead you see light, a blazing orangey reddish light, as one whole side of the cave, of this vast cave, is coated in a rippling sheet of fire. Just almost like a waterfall of it in reverse, flaming upwards. Just a sheet of thunderous flame that seals off the far end of the cavern.
Before we get
I think it's our time to go below.
Yeah, a couple of minutes away from it, where it's still relatively a distance away, I will just sort of clap Victory and Scamp on the shoulders and just be like, just get us through that one piece, would you? Yep. Cool inspiration. For both
no
of
problem, we can do that just fine.
Okay. Victory leads you round to the
to
the helm. To the tiller. The helm, indeed. You can see that marked into the sides of the tiller, there are a couple of these complex, gigantic rune sort of glyph circles. Victory places her hand on one. You can see that it's the placement of them. They're actually designed for a much larger figure to place two hands on them. But far as they are apart, both of you can reach one. So, from what I can tell, it looks like we're going to need to almost channel magic into these, and it should it should take care of it. There is an order in which we need to charge different parts. I'm going to talk you through it as best I understand it, but we're going to need to. I think we're going to need to be working half on instinct, half on instruction here.
Okay, well, I'm good at one half of that.
All right, I'm gonna give you a hand from this side, and let's see what we can do. First things first. Let's see if we can get this activated.
Yeah. How much magic does it need?
Fair bit, probably as much as it would take to. I think from the two of us, from each of us, it's going to take at least as much as it would to do. I suppose the instinct I'm getting is moving things with your mind, so basically 5th level spell slot.
Cool. Right.
Both place your hands on the glyph. All right. Can you feel bits of it pulling at you, pulling at your magic?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you should feel that some bits are pulling a little stronger than others. What we're going to need to do is guide it into the strong bits first until they fill up, and then but hold it back from the other bits. It should power up the right bits at the right time.
Okay.
Here goes nothing.
Right.
So, you are being aided, so you can roll this with advantage, but I need you to roll an Arcana check, please.
One of those is good. 23.
Okay. With you and Victory together, carefully measure the flow of magic into the glyphs. Different segments of the glyphs start lighting up as the energy flows in. Parts of the... and you notice that there are further inscriptions in the deck and the hull all around that begin to slowly flicker into existence, one after the other, all but invisible in the dark glass before this. But as they do so, you see a rippling of almost faintly green luminescence begin to emanate from the sides of the ship, streaming upwards into a sort of dome overhead.
Ooh.
Okay, I think that's got it. Let's keep the ship going forward. We're going to hold this best we can. As the oars continue to beat, the ship makes its way forwards, and as you approach, you can hear the roar of the flames becomes a deafening cacophony of fire, a raging inferno.
I hate it.
But as the first part of the ship touches almost touches the reverse waterfall of fire, you see the flames begin to part and turn green where they touch the barrier. The ship slowly begins making its way through. But you can feel a strange sort of rippling or shuddering. Okay. One of Celestia or Corzin may make a perception check. This is non-visual.
Okay.
I mean, whose non-visual perception is higher? Mine's +5. What's yours?
+9.
Oh, you do then, mate. Go.
Although you can assist me if you like.
No, one or the other.
This is a one or the other
okay.
for this check.
Okay, that is 27.
Nice.
Corzin, you, as the ship enters the raging flames, you can feel the torrent. You can feel a difference in the ship itself through the glass boards. It's like the whole thing begins rumbling or vibrating, as if the cascade of fire has a real physical impact where it's brushing against the shield. There's even a soft sort of like a finger running around the rim of a wet wine glass, but if instead of a finger it was a blazing cascade of fire.
Okay.
Wow.
Feels like we've hit a squall.
And you suddenly, and hearing that, you hear one part of it starts to, off to the starboard side, is a little more discordant than the rest. There's something about the sort of otherwise clear, that's like a little bit out of tune, out of key.
Oh. That's odd.
What's odd?
Well, like, I can... That noise that's sort of going around, it's like it's a little... the best way I can describe it is off-key. I'm going to move physically over towards
as you move over, you can
the
see
side of the ship.
Through the portholes, because you're both underneath, where the rowers, oars demons, if you will, are busy rowing. You can see now the curtain of flame has turned green where you're passing through it. But there's a point in the midst of it where you can see the green flames are more intense, rippling strangely. And then suddenly you see a momentary breach in this sort of shield around you, and a spurt of flame sears directly towards the sort of oar slit, the hole. Celestia, you react first, and just on instinct, what do you do?
There's just a spurt of flame that comes.
That is coming straight towards the open oar port.
I mean, my instinct is I want to push it away, so I'm going to do a thunder wave.
Okay, give me a performance check, please. Because that's
Performance
how your
check.
magic works usually, I think.
That's a 28.
Okay, you instinctively pulse your hands outwards.
It's a guitar.
You bring the guitar forwards and strum it, the rainbow spirit flashing to the strings, and with a pulse outwards, you see the searing fire is buffeted backwards, and the stream alters up in its angle as you pass. Scamp and Victory see for a moment a shot, or almost like a pillar of flame, sear over the ship across the bow, and then you pass beyond it and out the other side. As the ship passes completely through the cascade, you all feel the last of the magic drain through, and the shield collapses. But you have made it through unscathed, and to what you can now see is a sheltered sort of port of dark stone in similar design to the one that you left. Completely empty, completely unoccupied. But from it you are able to to anchor the ship and descend. Taking the compass in hand, to cut a long story short, the four of you plus pets make your way back onto the shore and find another set of winding twisty passages, much alike, but with the aid of the compass, and you just keep track of the route as you go. After about 15 minutes of walking, you feel a change in the air. It becomes cleaner, easier to breathe, and cooler. Much cooler. Colder, even. As you make your way up, navigating pretty much just... I mean, you could do dancing lights if you wanted, but otherwise...
I mean, if it's dark, I will.
Vision. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Just through the purple light of light of the dancing lights, you see the dim glimmer of white daylight. Scrambling your way up now with quickening pace, you find that the cave seems to emerge into a natural crevice, and as you scramble up to the edge, you find yourself on a thin plateau, barely more than a thin ledge leading onto a plateau, and stretching out, technically behind and above you, but also ahead of you, is a mountain range.
Ooh.
You see snow-capped peaks in almost every direction. To the left, to the right, definitely up, above, behind. But as you squint and your eyes adjust, you can also see that you are on the higher part of a lengthy range, a range that seems to dip down into a valley, far in the distance, but you can just see very far from here, and then up into a second range of mountains, continuing on and further to, by this point, you would guess to the south, because to the east, the sun is already partly into the sky. Based on your travel time, it must now be the morning of the 29th. I'm going to say probably about 8 a.m. And you can see, glancing side to side, vast forests far below, with winding rivers through them, off to the east. To the south, the valley and the mountain range, and the second mountain range. You can't really make out what's to the north because there is mountain behind you, but in the distant west you see what might be wasteland or desert. And behind and above, the snow-capped peak of the tallest of these mountains. And to you, not quite surprise, but still to your astonishment, a set of massive carved stone steps leading up, not that much further, comparatively speaking, towards a gate of stone set into the mountain itself. You're about 2/3 of the way up this mountain. And it's comparable to Everest.
Jesus.
Wow.
Okay. I am not walking up those stairs. Did you see how many stairs those? No, not doing it.
What are we going to do
go
then?
Going up. No one told me there'd be stairs.
Would you consent maybe to climb up them rather than walk?
You can literally fly. This is a non-issue. And teleport.
Yeah, but the stairs.
You make an excellent point.
You notice the stairs are actually two-tiered. There are large steps in the centre, and up either side there are smaller, more human-sized steps.
Oh, good. That does help, yeah.
As well.
Sorry, Corzin, there aren't any small enough for you.
It's alright. I'm just happy to see the sun, frankly. It feels
We
Hard
need to
fucking same.
message Molly. Message Molly immediately.
Yes. What do you want me to say to her?
Tell her about how awful the stairs look.
Tell her that we're nearly on our way home. We have one last thing we have to do. Should hopefully be with her in a couple of days.
Alright.
And that you love her.
That you love her, you knob. Right.
Sorry, I was trying to
Molly!
get to the...
Darling. Out of void.
Hooray.
Still one thing to do before home. Back in a couple of days. Corzin loves you.
See you soon.
And child. I look at Corzin. See you soon.
You get a response quickly. Thank fuck you're okay. Make your way back as soon as you can. I'll tell Corzin I've heard. Keep my bloody husband alive. Well, I love him too. Bye.
As ever, Celestia, underreads this, so you're hearing it keep
Okay, yeah.
my bloody husband alive. I love you too. Bye.
My wife.
Yeah. You gotta remember to tell you fucking love her in sendings, otherwise I have to do it, and it's weird.
No, you're right. I just...
Let's get back soon, eh?
Yes, let's.
I
You
mean,
see Victory just staring up for a moment.
You alright?
I can't cast Sending.
Do you want one? I've got spells, darling.
She thinks for a moment.
I know it's not quite the same, but I could message you the response so it's private if you want.
Tell her I'm alive, I'm safe. We need to talk, but I love her.
Vasilisa. Victory alive. Safe. Says you need to talk, but she loves you. I look at Victory with the number of fingers up at anything else, you know.
We're far away, but we have a way back.
We are far away, but have way back. I hold up 4 fingers.
Talk more in person.
Talk more in person.
Again, your response is quick. She's alive. Thank fuck. Please let her know. We will have that talk. I love her also. Thank you for taking care of her. Vasilisa.
Again, I underread this to Victory. Anyone else before we go in, actually? We don't know if it's sendable. You're alright, good. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I can't speak monkey, so you don't get a send.
oh.
Scamp, do you have anything?
No, because anyone I'd message would be if I sent to someone, if I decided, let's send to Wisdom at this point, all that would do would make them really worried that we're about
she doesn't
to die.
know we're here. That's probably better. Yeah.
I don't regularly send to anyone. If I send a message now, that's because they're gonna go, oh, you think you're about to get killed. That's all will happen there.
Yeah, but also people think that we're dead anyway by the sounds of things, so I might send to Saran. Because, I already spoke to Clara, but somebody could do with an update.
You can talk to Saran, but the Saran knows you're alive. Because Clara wouldn't lie about that.
But I feel a bit guilty.
No, you should.
Up sticks.
You should, because it's on the whole nice date thing and stuff, but not because she'll know. Don't worry about that.
Oh, I know, but I just feel like an arsehole because I just sort of evaporated. So
everyone I'd need to tell is here, so you know.
Fair. I'm gonna let her No, because again, I've talked to Clara but not her, and I feel weird.
Yeah, do it. Do the thing.
I don't know what I'm going to say, I'm just going to start talking. Saran, darling. Hello. Clara probably said, but we're alive. Sorry. Disappeared. Been trapped. Somewhere weird. On way back, hopefully. Day or two. Third date soon.
There's a bit of a pause before you get your reply. Well, as excuses for standing me up go. Significant pause in the message. Clara, let me know. Very glad you're alive. Stay that way. Bring me back something nice. Bye.
I'll take that challenge. Write it down. Bring Saran back something nice. Will it be a monster head? Will it be a nice rock that I found? I don't know. I don't know what's
Do we still have that monster head? I do still have that, don't I?
You've got a Hydra
Yeah,
head
you
still. You've still got a stuffed Hydra head.
That needs mounting somewhere, really.
No, you did. You gave it.
Stuffed it.
Well, it was already stuffed. You
Oh, yeah.
animated already stuffed Hydra. But no,
That was it.
But you have set it to mounting. You gave it to Squinty, I believe, with instructions to mount
I
it
did.
in the mansion.
That did happen.
So-
Yeah.
All right, your messages home conducted.
I totally could teleport us all there and back, but I don't entirely trust this place to be reach backable. But I feel like I should say it out loud, just so someone said it, so I don't feel like an arsehole for going.
Oh,
I
we're
totally
all
could."
thinking it, but that would also just sort of make it a bit worse, wouldn't it? I think we've just got to do it.
Yeah, and plus, what if we got back and there was something weird about this place where you can't get back in?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what if you use up all your big spells and then we have to come back and do the thing? That seems stupid.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that.
Also, it's
Didn't do that yesterday.
without sailing to this, I guess, to the south end of Western Sunder. I literally don't know any other ways to get back in to hell, I suppose, so that we can get back to the mansion and seal it and fix that whole mess.
Yeah.
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 But, I'm going to pick up some rocks so we could just come back here anyway.
Good idea.
I am astonished that works.
Yep. Yeah, me too.
Yep.
I don't know why
Yeah,
I'm
no.
astonished that works. It makes as much sense as me being able to steal a fucking mansion.
Oh, yeah, no.
Still feels weird though.
Yeah. It does help, though. If I have got a rock, that works.
All right, let's go up to the big doors.
Oh,
You ascend the steps
I
until you
hate them.
reach
I hate them. I hate them.
the truly gigantic, sized for the greatest of giants, 30 feet high, pair of stone double doors. Carved faded with time a little, but still the echoes of and traces of beautiful artworks. Just so inaccessible for casual arrival. Looking down, you can actually see those steps. They don't go down to ground level. They go to an open section of plateau that actually vaguely reminds you, Celestia, of that vision you once had of the giant riding a winged horse of all things, and landing in a citadel up in the mountains.
Interesting.
This place was not really meant to be visited from the ground. But, Corzin, you can still make out in the faded text the name of the place beyond these gates. Kairos.
Kairos.
We've heard that before, haven't we?
The Scamp, Victory. Yeah, well, Scamp, you see Victory steps forward, draws in a breath. Looks to you, Scamp. All right, shall we?
Well,
Let's do a stupid thing.
Good.
Small question. Have
Yeah.
we had a short rest since we sailed through the thing?
Nope.
Cool.
Nope, you haven't.
I will leave it then for an
And
emergency.
Corzin hasn't
Never
had
mind.
time for a long rest.
Continue.
Either.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus, Corzin's not had a long rest.
Yep.
Yeah, he's had a cup of coffee.
That is
Victory,
not the same thing.
Nope.
No,
Scamp.
I'm
raise
not
their-
pretending it is.
You see Victory raise a hand, place it on the stone. Pause. She tries knocking.
Well, this is awkward.
Yeah, the memories that he had seem to suggest that it should just open on our touch.
I'll
What if
give
two
it a
of you do
kick.
it?
I'm going to give it a kick.
Okay. She gives it a kick as well, puts a hand on, you both put a hand on. Corzin. It's about this point, as it's starting to get increasingly embarrassing, that you notice the little arrow on the compass
Oh,
is pointing off to the left.
Oh, hang on, look.
wrong door. Wrong door.
Maybe there's
shit.
a different one.
That, you could.
Oh, it's about to be
It could be worse. At least it wasn't like a pull door or something, because that would have been.
I know.
Yeah,
It
it could have
just-
been worse.
I would definitely tell you if there was a push-pull.
It's
label
alright.
on the door.
When I sing a song about this and make it a story and whatever, I'll say that the door opened. No one will know.
You.
Or just pretend it happened like that.
Yeah, I think when we.
No
Just
one
to
needs to
tell
know
us-
about this, do
Yeah,
they?
giant door open.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, it was- oh.
No one fucking else is here. Where the fuck are we? It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like, Jeffrey's not going to tell.
Jeffrey's definitely going to tell, aren't you?
Again, no one's going to understand Jeffrey telling.
Well, Jeffrey's a fast learner. It's not going to be long before Jeffrey's talking. Aren't you, Jeffrey? See?
Okay, let's
Just you wait till I get to
this
a wish
round.
spell and can cast Awaken.
Oh no.
Mortifying.
You find that there, around the edge of there is actually a narrow sort of ledge that continues on past the side of the door. You have to it's wide enough. It's wide enough for two of you to walk abreast comfortably, but it is compared to the giant's, luxurious steps, a little bit more like this was either left over from initial construction or just like a bit of natural ledge. But the arrow points you round for about 100 feet or so, and then just points at dead rock face.
Want to have a little
Okay.
touchy touch then?
Is it concealed?
I mean, I can always move rock if I need. Let's give it a poke. I'm going to poke it.
As Scamp touches their finger to the rock, you
Oh,
hear
can
a
I lick it
cracking
instead?
No, you said you go to poke.
Ow.
Oh, okay. Oh, you go to poke
I wanna
it,
lick the
then
rock.
decide you lick the rock. As Scamp's tongue touches the rock, you hear a massive cracking, splintering sound as a huge crack of light splits up the centre of the rock face, some 60 feet high, and the walls of the rock peel back almost like curtains. Like, I want you to imagine like when rock pulls back in stop motion, like this.
Hell
It
yeah.
melts away, and out of the entrance pours brilliant, warm light. As stretching out before you is a sea of clouds and a glass bridge lit with golden light from within, arcing over and along to what feels like almost a fairy tale castle on floating on a bed of clouds amidst this open sky.
Wow.
Fuck.
And we will pick up there next time.
I need to lick more doors.
Thank you all very much for playing. Thank you all very much for listening. And farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs. Fair seas and natural 20s.
We've learnt the truth about my past. We've returned to our world at last. But one last thing before all's well. Into the Cirrus Citadel.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.